how to create starline designs. Designs where you've got the spokes coming out, but you haven't got a conventional star. But something like this, obviously not exactly like this, but I'm just going to show you how to create. So I'm just going to now go back to a completely fresh document. And what I'm going to use the line tool. Now the line tool has a few problems with 2021. It's not working in exactly the same way as it used to. However, what you can do, you can go here to line tool, shape, I'm going to set it to black and make certain it's got a value, 7.4 or something. The default seems to be 0, which is not very useful. And then simply draw it, because what happens, looks like things vanish. Now, they don't. What you can then do, you can apply transforms. You can duplicate and transform. And the easiest way to do that is, I always think, is an action. So simply go to the actions, and you can find that in window and actions. So you've got your there. And I'm just going to quickly create an action. So let's go down the bottom, create an action, record. What I want to do is duplicate this design and then transform it. So layer and duplicate layer. Click OK. So you've got 2 copies now of that design, and I want to apply a transform. So what I can then do, I can go to properties over here, and you can find that in the window and properties down there. And what you can see you've got like 90 degrees there. So at 90 degrees, what I want is a transform like just 10 degrees. So I'm going to set it to 80, this new one. So that's it. I've got the action now. What I want to do is finish off this action. So I'm just going to stop the recording. Simply go down there and stop it. Stop recording. And now you've got it. You can see action 3, duplicate current layer and rotate current part. Of course, you could vary the degree. You don't have to have 80. You could have gone for 70, whatever. Depends what you want to for the transformation all the way around. Now what you can do very quickly. Now, of course, you don't have to do an action, but it just makes it quicker. So you can just simply go to the action there and play it. You can see straight away you can duplicate that design all the way around. I've gone for 10 degrees because it ends up with a nice design like that. You could of course go for 27.3, but then you might find that the end result is not completely matched all the way around. So now what you can do, you can go, now these are all layers because I'm using the shape option here. And well, there's no pixel option, that's the trouble. So I have to use the shape option. So shape option there. And then I can go to layers. So window and layers. And you can see in your layers, you've got a number of layers here. What you can do, select them all of them then selected. You can go to layer and you can merge shapes. So merge shapes to make them all into one single design. Now what I like to do, I love smart objects. Virtually all my videos have smart objects. I try and get smart objects in every time. So now I'm just going to convert this into a smart object. So layer menu, smart objects, convert to smart object. So you've got your smart object, which you can now, obviously you can move around. So you've got, if that's it. If you want to go, obviously I'm going to add a little bit more, but that's the initial, the basic design. So if that's what you need, all those spokes going out. And of course, what you can do, you can always go and change. You can double click into this and you can see then you can modify, if you want to, the width. So just go over to properties and you can see you've got 7.41 there. And I'm just going to resize it, just resize it slightly. Hold down the shift and then resize. And you can brush return, does help. You can see you can create obviously slightly different. Sadly, there's no width tool like in Illustrator where you can create some more interesting designs than this, but however, that's the basic star. Now, of course, you can also change the colour if you don't want that, and also you could add, there's various options here as well for the line. So I'm going to come out of that now and close that, save, and now it updates again. So what you can then do, you can add, if you want to remove the centre, quick and easiest way, simply just go to ellipse tool and simply go like that. Now there's no option for, now in this case I'm going to just select both those shapes. You can see that in the layers. I've got both the shapes there selected. Just go up here to the top and I can then use a line and a line vertical. So it's nicely at the center. Now I can turn that one there, the circle, into any color. So go to there, to properties again, and you can see an option there for fill. And you can turn around and say, no, give me blank. I don't want it blanked out. What I want is color or white. So you can obviously not see the black lines. That's a simple solution. And of course you can see you've still got a stroke there, but you can remove that as well. So you can just reduce that down to nothing. And you've got these stroke options if you want to continue with variations there as well. But I want that central part, but I just want to show you, you can create that central design there. And of course what you can do, once you've got both those, you can select both those, and again, go to Layer and Smart Objects, Convert Smart Object, if you want to convert it into a smart object. So it stays together. So what you can then do, let's go back to this one, and I want to go for red. I want some colour there. And also I'm quite happy with stroke width as well. So you can vary that. Of course you can go for maybe something like that. So you can create a nice design very similar to that. So again, Layer, Smart Objects, Convert to Smart Object. Now again, with Smart Objects, you can always double click at any point, go in and modify some of these settings. So if you don't like this, you can always change it. So, but what you can also do with Smart Objects, you can go to a Layer menu, Layer Style, and you can say go for bevel and false or drop shadow. And you can add that. Also you can of course go for filter. I always go for plugins, but I meant filter. And there's options here where you can go for distort, so maybe wave. You can create a nice wavy design if that's what you want. But you've got this design here. What you do, you can hold down the Alt or Option key. It's on the keyboard. Everyone always asks where it is, but there it is on my keyboard. You've got that. And then you can duplicate the design. You can of course also use Layer and duplicate as well. Duplicate layer, just as easy as well. And you can always then of course resize, hold down Shift if you want to keep it nice, and you can then again Alt or Option, move that around. And also if you want, you can recolor. So you don't go to Image menu, it's a Smart Object, so you can apply smart adjustments which you can change. So you can go down here, Hue Saturation, make it yellow. And you can see here, you've got hue and saturation over here for the layer. So you can see that layer that I've got selected. You've got Smart Filter, which you can remove. Like that, as well as a drop shadow. Remove that as well, very quick. And then you can duplicate that and fill the design with those star designs. And of course, what you can also do, you can always, if you want the whole thing to be one colour, what you can always do, go to Layer, Layer Style, and as Colour Overlay. So you can then create that, maybe go for blue, click OK. And another option is you can of course got blending modes. So you can create a variety of different combinations there as well. So normal, and I'm just going to click there, and you can of course change colour to anything you want. Also, of course, if you don't want colour, you can apply a gradient. So gradient overlay. Now deselect the colour overlay so you can see the design there, and you can see you can create a lovely, and also there's pattern as well. But I'm just going to go for gradient overlay, and I've got difference there. I can put that up there, and you can see you've got your design there. And you can go for maybe blue, one of these other ones as well. And you can also radial, you can vary that down to legacy ones. If you've got legacy ones, again, you can select that and click OK. And you can remove it if you want, and again, you can continue to add those designs. Well, I hope you found this tutorial of interest. Please subscribe to Graphic Extra channel. Always adding new tutorials about Photoshop, Illustrator, Affinity Photo, Affinity Designer, Affinity Publisher, Krita, etc. Also, you've got any comments, any things that I've done wrong, or any suggestions, please put in the comments, always appreciated. And also a dislike or like. Thank you much.